Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi, and she yells, "Oh, girl, you gotta hear this one." A man was arrested for running the theme park, and when they said, "Where's your license?" he said, "My dog ate it." Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one." Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, "You'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up." Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. Shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one."
All caps means you're either panicking or trying to represent yourself in court. Both are mistakes. Your feelings are adorable, but they're not admissible, persuasive, or even interesting without evidence. Yes, Heather hates immunity doctrines. It's a personality trait at this point. You don't need to remind her, she wakes up angry about it. Bring receipts. No, I heard it from so and so. This is quid pro quo, not next door. Screenshots are statutes only. Don't fight each other. Fight the law. It deserves it more. If you're offended, excellent. That means you're awake, paying attention, and probably new here. No diagnosing the host. She's petty, not pathological. And don't diagnose anyone else. Stay in your lane, please and thank you. Do not summon the mods. They're tired, hangry, and may bite when provoked. Disagree loudly if you must. The algorithm eats drama for breakfast. Just keep it cute while you argue wrongfully. If you're taking screenshots of my chat, touch grass, tell your handlers. I said hi and find a hobby that isn't me.
Hey everybody, long time no see. Oh, it's been a long couple days. Oh, thanks for bearing with me if you joined me for those streams. Thank God that's over. I'm glad it's over, but we have a lot of work to do as a result of what came out of those streams. If you haven't joined me for the last 2 days, we've been covering the NTSB's hearing on the results of their investigation on the DCA crash, and we have a metric shit ton of more work to do, including digging into FAA records, and oh my God, the content just writes itself. Speaking of content that just writes itself, and the gift that keeps on giving, like a certain disease, lips. But we are not talking about her old lawsuits. No, that is reserved for Mondays when we are our petty way to start the week. We are talking about her current active cases in Orange County. We are going to go through them. There are 4. The one with Jeremy, Megan, Tug do not have any updates. The last update in there was November 9th, which was a motion that said I'm not going to be available these dates. Fine. And Annie, thanks for getting us started with 10 gifted Squid Pro Quo memberships. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. We just hit 4,300 subscribers. I'm really hoping that we can maybe hit like 45 by summer. That's the goal. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my other channel, please do, because we're having so much fun with that. I will be posting more content. I did script a couple of videos last night. I just have to record them. And Annie, thanks for the 9 cent super sticker. But because I've been streaming since 10 a.m. this morning, we are going to get straight to the point. There is going to be no pettiness here. This is just a straight talk about her bullshit. I hope everybody is doing well. The first one we are talking about is the hearing that was supposed to be yesterday morning. It went on, but it went on without her. And NEM, thanks for becoming a new YouTube member. All right, this is remember? Okay, so there's a couple of things with this. This will be the only lawsuit that we talk about today that she has filed. And something that has struck me about her is she files lawsuits and then either drops them or doesn't show up and they get dismissed. But I'm curious to see how she responds when she is the defendant, if that changes her demeanor at all, from a psychological perspective and just being an adult, because this is just stupid. You wasted all these people's time and money. But when you waste people's time and money by putting your dirty laundry on the internet, your dirty laundry becomes public record. And when you piss people off, i.e. me, and you mess with the wrong petty bitch, I will make your public record content. I will make your dirty laundry content because you're a cunt. All right, court minutes. Court opened at 8:41. Court was supposed to start at 8:30. Generally, in my experience, court tends to start on time unless they're waiting for someone. 27th day of January, 2026. This case came before this day, ex parte Honorable Brian Sander presiding. Leslie Ferderigos versus ABC Legal, JP Morgan Chase Bank, and Jane Doe. This is when she was served or attempted to be served, and she was scared out of her God forbidden whatever was going on in her head. However, parties present, court reporter, parties appeared via Zoom. Plaintiff failed to appear. Not like we're surprised. I think 99.9% of us saw this coming. Hey, Jen. And if I seem a little fired up, it's because I've been streaming since 10 a.m. I had very strong opinions on DCA and the collision. And also it was spicy. The board members were getting spicy among themselves. So if you haven't checked out that stream, the board members were getting pretty damn spicy among themselves. It was quite entertaining to watch. But because the plaintiff didn't show up, and this was a motion to dismiss. And it's Zoom. Like, how hard is it to put on a shirt and a pair of shorts? Like, you don't even have to put on pants. You can put on a pair of shorts. You're seen from the waist up. This court dismissed the case without prejudice. I wish they would have dismissed it with prejudice, so she couldn't bring this shit again. However, yeah, we had talked about that back then, but we're going to get to another court hearing that but that was also in a case that she brought. So it, just Office of Tiffany Moore Russell, Orange County Clerk of the Circuit Court and County Courts. Tiffany Moore Russell is amazing. I love her. She is great. Whoever does her website for her is the other person that's like super great. And this is going to be a quick stream because your girl's got stuff to do, and I've literally been sitting in front of a computer for 4 hours, 5 hours now. So we so there's this one, and I did black out redact the WebEx link because unlike Fleesa, I am not an irresponsible bitch. Every once in a while I make a mistake and I forget to redact. However, just because you are provided the WebEx link as public knowledge doesn't mean it's appropriate for the public to show up. I don't know who needs to hear that PSA, but PSA, just because a WebEx link is provided in a legal document and that legal document is publicly available does not mean that it's appropriate to show up where you're not wanted. Inserting yourself where you're not wanted, and especially when it comes to a court case, is never a good idea. I don't know who told someone that was a good fucking idea, but it's not. I have so many folders open right now. ABC lawyer gets to write the order. There are people who ask for a vexatious litigant determination first. There is nothing in that. So there's nothing in that loss, like on the docket that I saw about vexatious litigant. So there's that. I don't know if I missed something in the complaint, but there was not a separate motion to put her as a vexatious litigant. I'm just saying from a purely document perspective. Another box? Or you want to open the box? Bring the box here. So I'm looking at it now and it's not there. But paying $420 to yes, don't go to a party you're not invited to. It's really not a hard concept. Sorry, we got a package in. It's literally just pillowcases, and she's freaking out that she wants to open it. Speaking of makeup tutorials, I got that in my mail today. Thanks to Jeff for his support, and thanks to Jeff Grady for his support and his ability for me to buy my own or buy my new makeup. So we can look, but I am literally looking in the Orange County Clerk. This is the docket for the ABC legal case. And unless it's in a motion and I just didn't catch it, there is no specific motion unless it's under something else in an answer from ABC from November. Notice of hearing, motion for enlargement, or motion for case management conference. I'm gonna insert search for a vexatious. I did not see it, but just because I did not see it in the document does not mean it is not there. So I'm gonna download it first. I thought I had this one downloaded, but just in case I don't, I'm gonna download it again. 25. Unlike Randy, who filed a specific motion to label her a vexatious litigant and made it very easy, this is not. So we're case management conference. I did not see anything in there, and I think the judge would have ruled on something if it was in there. So I'm gonna let's open and search vexatious. There is not the word vexatious in this document. So if I can find it at a later date, I will let you guys know, but I have not seen anything in this specific case that maybe answer to Lips's motion to dismiss. We'll go back and see. But I have not seen it in anything that I've read, and I've been following this case since she first filed it in April of last year. Because I was Googling, or I was looking up in Orange County something else for another case, and I decided to put her name in there and found this. So it's yeah. Notice of appearance of motion to dismiss. I know that Jeremy has filed. However, they do not. They don't. It's not in this one either. You want that? What are you going to do with highlighter, cutie pie? You're gorgeous just the way you are. Yes. Boop. It's very.
I tried.
You don't need any more. Girl, we're going to end up with highlighter all over the place. Yep, there's no vexatious in that one either. I'll continue to look, but
Mommy.
it does say malicious prosecution, dismissal with prejudice. Okay, so Angel, stop please. Stop please. So it does say, hold on, go get a paper.
No.
Here.
No, I don't. No.
Angel, you're not putting it on paper. You need paper for finger painting. You need paper. There, you're not finger painting my walls. Well, it does say dismissal with prejudice is appropriate to prevent further abuse of the judicial process, but it is not a specific motion to label her a vexatious litigant. There is a difference. Yeah. So, y'all, there is a difference between what Megan, Tug, and Jeremy say they're going to do and what's actually in the thing. If they've talked about it within the last month, nothing has happened. There is nothing in the document in their docket since November. So what they've talked about, what they were going to do, and what they've actually done are two different things, because nothing has been filed since November in Megan and Tug's case, unless it's been filed under seal, in which case it's not in there at all. However, literally nothing in their case has been filed since November 9th. So what they've said they were going to do and what they've actually done are two different things. Just saying. Just saying. So yeah, that is, so and this is where words matter. We had this conversation for like 4 hours today on words matter. This is with prejudice to prevent further abuse of the judicial process. However, this is not a motion or anything to label her a vexatious litigant. There's a difference. So with prejudice, because she's abused it, she's abused the process. We're telling you she's abused the process, and getting her labeled as a vexatious litigant are two different things. So they did not file a motion to label her a vexatious litigant. I know, baby. I know, beautiful. I know. So there is a difference, and this is where words matter. So I see, but please don't color me. So it's one of those things of they did say that she abuses the judicial process, but they did not file a motion or put anything in here about labeling her for future cases as a vexatious litigant. So it's where those nuances matter. It's like this. It's like technically they did mention that she, but they didn't use the term vexatious and they didn't file a motion. Whereas Randy literally filed a motion to get her labeled as vexatious litigant in which if he succeeds, she will have to, in most states, ask a judge for permission to file a lawsuit, which in my estimation would mean that your lawsuit has to have a legal standing, not just they pissed me off and I'm going to sue them, in order to actually go through with a lawsuit. So that's just the nuance of how words can matter. There is a big difference between just getting it dismissed with prejudice because you abused the process and we're letting the judge know, and being called a vexatious litigant. Being labeled a vexatious litigant is not a good thing. You can actually Google that and it will tell you everything you need to know. However, going back to this, oh yeah, make her put down a large deposit. Well, here's the thing. It's not how many more cases before they label her. Jeremy and Randy are the only people who have ever asked. So think about that. Jeremy and Randy, or Randy basically, no offense to Jeremy, but Randy's the one doing the work. Randy is the only one who's ever filed a motion to get her labeled as a vexatious litigant. So, like, this doesn't really matter at what these people put in their lawsuit. Doesn't really matter. And I say it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, they're only referencing reasons to get their own lawsuit dismissed. They are not talking anything about like what to label her in the future. They only asked for their own lawsuit in regards to her to be dismissed with prejudice so she can't do it again. Jeremy and Randy, on the other hand, are going for holding your feet to the fire and make sure that you can't do that shit to anybody ever again. So, oh, you're fine. Oh, I've just been streaming for 5 hours, so I'm a little wee. And I'm hungry. I've literally had this and some M&Ms in the last 5 hours. But I wanted to get this out because yesterday I read that other document at the end of the stream from yesterday, and I cut it into a separate video, and I just don't have the time to do that today. So we are going to we are just going to do this together. All right, the next one is a notice of hearing for Seacoast National Bank versus Michael Ferderigos et al. Lips is in there too. This is their this is one of their foreclosures. I think this is the non-residential. This is the homestead residential foreclosure. So they have 2 foreclosures. They have 3 foreclosures. Homestead residential, non-homestead residential with Truist Bank, and non-homestead residential with Freddie Mac. Those are the 3 active, and they're separated. Even though the 2 are both non-homestead foreclosures, they are different entities suing them and different judges. So, and yes, I know that too. However, if we want to recheck it, because I literally just checked it 5 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago, but I could check it. I like checking it with you guys because then we all are on the same page. Hales et al. Versus Ferderigos Leslie. This one is Thursday, March 26th or March 24th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Different judge than the last hearing. However, I'm interested to see if they will show up to this hearing because of the fact she did not bring this litigation. This was brought against her. And one, I wanted to inform you guys that there's a hearing coming up in a couple months. Also, I wanted to discuss what y'all thought about the difference in her behavior when she brings a case versus what is when one is brought against her. And that's where my question goes. Will she or won't she show up? And will he show up? because this is not a case that they brought against, ABC Legal or Jeremy and Tug or whoever. And this is not her just suing to get her dirty laundry on the public record. This is this is against her, and it has to do with foreclosure. So it's like, y'all, would you like to not show, or would you like to show up for this one? There was supposed to be a pretrial conference on the 26th. So now there's a pretrial conference on the 26th. I'll have to look at the docket. This was filed on the 23rd of January. But I have in my calendar here, Lips Seacoast Foreclosure Pretrial Conference. So I'll have to look back at the docket and see. Lips Seacoast hearing. Final judgment. Summary judgment. All right. And Hung Hero, thank you for the 5 Squid Pro memberships. So I just wanted to show you guys that to let you know that that was a new development from a couple of days ago. Yes, the ABC case is dismissed. ABC, I wouldn't say ABC won. Nobody technically won because they all had to be there and they all had to pay money. However, it's another one of those cases that is effectively dropped. Cassie, come here. Come here. You. Okay, y'all, I have to go change a Tinky backside real quick. But Hung Hero, thanks for the 5 Squid Pro memberships, and good to see you, and no antagonizing me this afternoon, please. Well, this is the thing. I don't understand how you can go around and sue people when you have 2 homes in foreclosure. Where are you finding this money? Oh, wait, maybe you should use the money that you were using to sue people to pay your damn rent or mortgage, my bad. All right, but this is the, I'm going to leave you guys real quick to go do mama duties. But this is the docket for Megan and Tug. Notice of unavailability was the last one. There was a September 2nd, there was a motion to dismiss the amended complaint, which we read through last year. And then there was a notice of unavailability filed by, I believe, Randy. There has been nothing else filed since November 9th. So I will be right back. Mama duties ensue.
Streaming live from the corner glow. Camera on, but the pace is slow. Little hands tugging at my sleeve. Mama's world, it never leaves. One sip of coffee, one deep sigh. I hit pause, no need to ask why. Mama's on pause just for a while. Grab a drink, hold that smile. Bathroom break, life in a Sadie's. Be right back. My daughter needs. Chats alive, the comments roll. The tiny footsteps steal the goal. Toys scatter like a masterpiece. Mama duties never cease. One quick hug, one quick peek, a little snack and she's unique. Mama's on pause just for a while. Grab a drink. that smile, bathroom break, life in a Sadie's, be right back. My daughter needs. Ooh, 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 ooh. Streaming live from the corner glow. Camera on, but the pace is slow. Little hands tugging at my sleeve. Mama's world, it never leaves. One sip of coffee, one deep sigh. I hit pause, no need to ask why. Mama's on pause just for a while. Grab a drink, hold that smile. Bathroom break, life in a Sadie's, be right back. My daughter needs. Ooh, chats alive, the comments roll. The tiny footsteps steal the gold. Toys scatter like a masterpiece. Mama duties never cease. One quick hug, one quick peek, a little snack and
All right, guys. The one last thing we have is, I have it open somewhere, in the Truist Bank versus Unhung Hero, thanks for the $5 super chat. We're not talking about, so minimal antagonization. That case is that case has been sealed by the judge. And I really wish, because now that Billy Napier has been fired, it's probably moving forward. And I really want to know what happens. But nothing. Yeah. Y'all. Oh my goodness. Why is that case taking so late to be called since November? Y'all, your guess is as good as mine. Ask Randy. That would be a question for Jeremy and Megan and Tug, since nothing's been filed and I don't know why. There was a notice of unavailability. I believe the notice of unavailability was Levy County, Orange County. Let's see. I have so many different freaking lawsuits in here for her that I'm like, I have to organize my stuff. The notice of unavailability is Randy Shockett, unavailable Friday, December 19th through January 3rd, January 29th through January 31st, and February 9th through February 16th. So it's Randy's dates that he's unavailable, which is tomorrow and up. So I don't know. To say I'm not even gonna go there because I don't know what the heck that meant. All right. On that note, the last thing we have is an update, an amended complaint in the Truist Bank versus Michael Ferderigos, an unknown spouse, and unknown tenants. So amended verified complaint. This is the non-homestead. This was, I believe, the rental property, if I'm remembering correctly. Oy. And this is short. It says 28 pages, but their mortgage, see, Paula, litigious. That would be And I spelled it wrong too, but that's closer. All right. Truist Bank, successor by merger to SunTrust, by and through undersigned attorney, sues the defendants, Michael Ferderigos, Leslie Ferderigos, and unknown tenants. This action is to foreclose on a mortgage on certain real property in Orange County. On or about May 16th, 2007, Michael Ferderigos is evidenced of a loan made to defendant by plaintiff, executed and delivered to plaintiff as an Access 3 equity line account agreement and disclosure statement, the principal amount of $150,000. I still will never understand how you can spend money and sue people. $420 just to file an initial complaint, and yet you are in foreclosure. Use the money that you are trying to sue people with to get your dirty laundry on the public record. Thank you, by the way. To pay your damn mortgage. How about you pay your damn I don't understand how, as an adult, like, your first priority is to sue people and not pay your damn mortgage. Like, I don't know. Everybody in here is an adult, generally speaking. Does anybody else understand why you would do certain things and spend money on certain things before paying your mortgage? Or is that like first thing on the priority list to make sure you have a roof over your and your children's heads? I mean, I thought that was How to Adult 101. Not fun, yet important. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I'm a bitch like that. I pay my bills. To secure payment of that the principal amount, defendant Michael executed and delivered a mortgage dated May 16th and recorded June 8th, 2007. Copy of the mortgage is attached as Exhibit B. Shush. Oh, if you haven't checked out Captain Kern's channel, big things are coming. Also, if you haven't checked out the GoFundMe, I know GoFundMes are people are not fond of GoFundMes. However, speaking, this one is very important. This one is very, very important. This is Captain Kern's bonus daughter. This is a link to her GoFundMe. She has just, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, escaped a DV situation with her two children, ages 3 and 2. Her son is the same age as my daughter. They are literally 3 months apart. I have talked to her. I've talked to her. Captain Kern is a very good friend of mine, and I can confirm that this is not a Levy County GoFundMe. I can assure you of that. This is to help a young mother with 2 tiny children escape a situation that could be the end of her. Let's put it that way. But she is safe, and we are trying to, Captain Kern is trying to make sure that she stays that way. So I am going to be sending her some of the little clothes because her daughter is starting to be in the same size that the little was leaving last year. So I'm going to be sending her a bunch of old clothes. Yes, those are my grandkids, the only grandkids I'll ever get. So I know that people in this audience right now are kind of sick of the GoFundMe stuff, but this one is actually legit. This one's actually legit. Yes. Before I get emotional about it, that's all I'm going to leave it there. Because I have actually spoken to her, so I can attest to, Oh yeah, before I get emotional. Hey, Happy! Because you don't realize how good you have it until you talk to someone who doesn't. And it kind of puts your whole life into perspective. And I was kind of having not to make it about me by any means, but like a perspective kind of moment with this whole situation. But on December 7th, SunTrust Bank was merged into Branch and Banking and Trust with BB&T. Branch Banking and Trust is also BB&T, just in case anybody didn't know. SunTrust. So they became Truist. How they got that, I don't know. Articles of merger and articles of amendment are filed with the state of North Carolina Department of Secretary of State. Copy of the articles of merger are Composite Exhibit C. Property is now owned by Michael Ferderigos, who holds possession. Due to the failure of defendant Michael Ferderigos to pay the mortgage by failing to make the installment payments due on May 21st of 2021. This was filed in 2024. 3 years of not paying your mortgage. 2 people who have law degrees. 2 people who are supposed to be no. North Carolina is where Truist Bank is incorporated. That's where their home office is. So you just can anybody explain to me what? I don't get it. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I am just silly. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being ridiculous. But Dan set it up here. Pay mortgage before all else. Yes, make sure you have roof overhead before anything else. I think it's a gamble mentality, bigger payday coming. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. But May 12th of 2021, you couldn't come up with one mortgage payment by then? Due to the terms of your deal, plaintiff is entitled to foreclose the mortgage on the real property. There is now due and owing to plaintiff from defendant Michael Ferderigos the principal sum of $42,777.72, together with fees, interest, and late charges. And this is why I will never sue them for defamation, even though they called me a felon. They didn't mention me by name because I don't think she has the guts. She sure as shit doesn't have the balls, but I really don't think she has the balls to do it. But I would never sue her because she doesn't have anything. I would much rather just make content out of her. It's a hell of a lot more entertaining and fucking quicker to just embarrass the shit out of someone every fucking week until 2027. I am sure they won their diplomas from an arcade grabber machine. You just took my lip gloss and ran away. Comes in here all sweet, grabs it. Bye. I don't want to find out. I'm sure I'm not petty then. Well, petty, but also not stupid. I am not spending thousands of dollars to end up with nothing. I would rather just make content because it's entertaining. And at the end of the day, YouTube is supposed to be fun. Yes, I talk about a lot of difficult topics, including the NTSB stuff. We are going to be talking about the Bangor Maine crash, which killed an attorney's wife and a few of her friends when they were supposed to be on their way to Paris for a girls' week. I'm just not stupid. I would never sue her because what am I going to get from she's got 3 foreclosures on 2 properties. What am I going to get from that? An apple juice? Just a fucking migraine. But this is fucking entertaining as shit talking about her. I don't know about y'all, but are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Yeah, suing an empty pot. And that's kind of what I'm only doing it once a week because I'm not doing it to grift. I'm doing it to prove a point. You don't F with someone who's pettier than you. and has a Pacer account. However, I will be doing it until I run out of content, which could be next year. There's nothing in there for you, Angel. There's nothing in there. You have to go potty on the toilet before you get more candy. A lot of yeah, and how do you pay for those lip fillers when you have? Oh wait, stop paying for Botox and lip fillers, and pay your damn mortgage. It's really not hard. Like, I would love Botox right here. Maybe people wouldn't think I'm angry all the time if I got rid of the WTF line. My RBF might go away. However, I understand that I have bills to pay before I get Botox, like paying off Christmas bills before we we're paying off the Christmas bills before we put in the Botox fund. It's just the unknown defendants may claim some right, title, and interest in and to the subject real property by virtue of their possession of the property or otherwise. Any such right, title, and interest into the subject and real property is claimed by the defendants is junior, inferior, and subordinate to the lien of the plaintiff's mortgage. Are you saying if you want to be petty, you have to have a Pacer account? No, it's just I can get documents on their federal cases without having to ask anybody to look for me. Be it I have to pay for them, but it's a small price to pay for the amount of entertainment that I am getting in the process. The site you get court docs from is a state search or a Fed search. You have to provide a specific courthouse. So the state documents, by way of them living in Orange County, Florida, and Tiffany Moore Russell, her website is the easiest document court clerk website to operate. User-friendly, easy to get documents, readily available in the entire country. So she not only lives in Florida, where documents are just easier to get than the rest of the country anyway, because of their laws. She lives in Orange County, which in my opinion is the easiest website to navigate in the entire country. Sorry about your luck. But she does have some federal cases, like her case against the Florida bar. That's a federal case. So those documents I am paying 10 cents a page for. The Orange County documents are free. So I'm on Social Security. When I get funded, I pay all of my bills at that time of the month. Whatever is left over for food and fun stuff. Being an adult is hard. Go figure. Yeah. Never mess with Squid. She has Pacer. Well, my point with that is I don't have to ask people to look up documents for me or try to search. I can just go on 2:00 in the morning when my insomnia hits and just start searching for shit. Yeah. However, all conditions precedent to the institution of this action have been performed or have occurred, and due to the failure of defendant Michael Ferderigos to pay the mortgage when it was due, it was necessary for plaintiff to employ the undersigned attorneys and instruct the filing of this action. As a result, plaintiff will incur costs and expenses, including attorney's fees. Under terms of the mortgage, defendants are obligated to pay all such costs and expenses, including attorney's fees. And here is my other thing. If you cannot afford a property, why do you just, if you ignore a problem, it's not going to go away. Why don't you hire a real estate agent and sell the property? Once again, where's common sense when you need him? Where is he? Because he needs to go to them. Because, if she doesn't pay bills, she's definitely not going to pay any lawsuits. There's that. It's just like, look at all these lawyers, though. Wherefore, plaintiff, Truist Bank, successor by merger to SunTrust Bank, demands judgment for closing the mortgage. Plaintiff further requests an award of costs, attorney's fees, and such additional relief as the court deems just and equitable. Look at all those look at all those lawyers. And this was 18th day of September 2025. So, yeah, this was your disclosure statement for your mortgage. Credit limit $150,000. I mean, and $150,000 for a mortgage isn't really a lot, especially in this date. Maybe in 2007 it wasn't. So, that's an intimidation tactic. Well, so this is the one home they do. I believe they do. I thought this was a rental property. This one, the non-homestead. The homestead one, I believe, is the property that they live in, which really sucks. Really sucks. But since we are not going over any of her court cases today, like her past court cases, and I have been streaming since 10 a.m., I am going to get going. I'm just going to check one last thing to make sure I got all of her court cases. So this is before we go. This is Tiffany Moore Russell's website. Oh, I'm not inviting somebody. I'm sharing a screen. So for here, this is how easy it is. You go search case records. Leslie Ferderigos. That's how easy it is on Orange County. That's simple. Currently pending, she does have, these are the documents that I can't get because they're family court. Dissolution of marriage. Sorry. She also, the ABC legal was closed technically. She has her name change that she started 11/4 of 2024. That's still pending. But that's family court, so non-public. Otherwise, I'd be all over that. But it even goes to like toll infractions. State of Florida versus Leslie Ann Ferderigos for a toll infraction, 6/27/2022. So these are the ones that we are going to be looking into, is the Leslie Ferderigos versus Chartine Vieira. That's her former paralegal, the one she mentions in the Florida bar lawsuit all the time. So she not only sued her for stalking, but she sued her for libel and slander. And also she does have a court case in Pinellas County. And I'm going to show this super quick, and then I'm going to stop sharing it because I do not want to, well, we're going to do that, and then we're going to stop sharing real quick. She has a lawsuit in Pinellas County that was filed around the same time as she sued the bar in Florida. So we have plenty of documents to go through. Plenty of documents. Well, it's Florida. So when you do it, it'll be a civil toll infraction. It'll just have your so this is what it'll do. Most, if you've ever looked up anything on like Wisconsin's CCAP, you'll be able to see all this stuff without the documents. Wisconsin's CCAP is Circuit Court Access Program. I used to CCAP people all the time. Hey Lisa. And hey Kathy. How are you? So it's not that someone brought the case. The state of Florida will bring it, but it's just like when you get a ticket and you have to go to court for it. That's literally the state of Florida or whatever state you're in suing you. So payable, fraction, and filed, the hearing, the court minutes, and then you paid your balance. So it's not really a it's not really like, I don't know. It's just the state of Florida going after her for her parking ticket. In this case, not not paying a toll. So when you get a parking ticket or a toll infraction or any sort of civil like speeding ticket, that's the state suing you, pretty much. Yeah, but this is my thing, and this has always been my thing. I saw the video. Someone sent it to me. The last time I talked about this, I didn't see the video where she literally talks about suing people to get things on the public record. Well, here's the thing. When you sue people to put your dirty laundry on the public record, your dirty laundry becomes public record. And when you live in a county that's really easy to access public court records, people are going to access all of your dirty laundry. And when you piss off the wrong person who happens to just read court documents for, I would say, a living, because I work 2 days out of my house or 2 days outside of my house, but the rest of the time, this is my income. However, when you piss off a person who reads court documents all day, and I just so happened to be following like 3 other cases out of Orange County, so I knew this website really, really easily. Don't piss off people when your dirty laundry is public record, because people will make your dirty laundry their entertainment. When you make your dirty laundry public record, everybody gets to see your shit stains. I do enjoy your brand of payback. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to sue her because, one, she didn't name me by name, so it would be defamation by implication. Her chat was talking about, and she was talking about my entire stream that day, without actually naming me by name, because she doesn't have the big enough balls to actually say my name. However, you messed with a petty bitch who for incredibly as busy as I am, has a lot of time on my hands. Yep. You get to see your racing stripes. Yeah. On that note, I need to get going. I am hungry, so I'm getting a little hangry. I've had some protein chips and some M&Ms since 10 a.m. this morning. Because I've been streaming literally all day. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about potentially a new lawsuit. Well, not new, it's from 2024, but it has to do with some it has to do with the medical kidnapping type of stuff. I'm in touch with a lawyer in Tennessee who is helping me out with some stuff. It's going to be a great day. Either that, or we have so many other cases. Also, a former member of Discovery Channel's show, what's the name of that show? Captain Kern and I were talking about this earlier. Oh, and Deborah Baker, thank you for the $20 Cash App. You are just, I never take for granted the fact that I am privileged and that you guys give your hard-earned and hard-worked for money to me from time to time to support my channel. That will never, ever be taken for granted. You wanna call Daddy? He'll be home soon, baby. Okay. No. Shizzy lives in Georgia. Shizzy lives in the same state as I do. This is a Tennessee lawyer. But not a streamer per se, but someone who's just been involved in some shit and happens to I happened to contact them and they sent me a whole bunch of information. So I have to go through it all. Also, we will be going through the thousands and thousands and thousands of pages in the docket for the DCA collision. There were some things that were brought up in that hearing today, or that yesterday, that we finished today, that I need to look at transcripts. And there is 235 docket items. I am slowly making my way through them. I am drowning in content. Also, I have a couple of videos that need to be filmed for the other channel. If you have not followed my other channel, this is where I get to rant and rave and tell you my true opinions on how people are stupid and how I think people are irresponsible. My other channel is my career. It's what I went to college for. I am by background a occupational therapy assistant, a certified lymphedema therapist, and a corrective exercise specialist. And over there, we talk about all things burnout recovery right now, fall prevention. We have movement minutes, and we just have a good time getting back on our feet. Let's put it that way. So we will, Doug's cousin. Probably not. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me on this sort of short stream. But I've been streaming since 10 a.m. It's been a long day. It's time to go cook dinner and spend time with my family. Love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.